Here are your Court News Ohio top stories in 5 minutes. The Ohio Supreme Court ruled a former Notre Dame football player diagnosed with a chronic brain injury 35 years after his final game did not wait too long to file a lawsuit against the school and the NCAA. Last Wednesday, the court unanimously determined the statute of limitations did not run out for Stephen Schmitz and his wife Yvette when they sued both entities in 2014. It was 2 years after doctors detected CTE, which is a degenerative brain disease found commonly in athletes and military veterans. Schmitz died in 2015. The widow Schmitz can legally continue the lawsuit, which claims both defendants failed to notify, educate, and protect Schmitz and other players about the debilitating long-term dangers of concussions and impacts that come with collegiate football. They lined up inside Franklin County Municipal Court looking to get their lives back on track by getting back on the road.
It's been very tricky getting back and forth to work. I just have to get a ride everywhere, Uber, cab. I mean, it's financially stressful.
Everybody heading in is trying to figure out their long-standing issues with reinstating their driver's license. In many cases, their suspensions ended years ago.
Did you talk to legal aid to try to get any of that expunged?
I haven't really been able to pin down how to exactly get it back because there's a couple steps I have to go through, and one kind of tends to butt into the other.
So the court and several other entities got together for a pilot program on license reinstatement.
The procedure to get them reinstated is very, very complicated, and there are a number of steps they have to go through, and there are several different entities, both the BMV and the court system, that may be involved in their license suspension.
Throughout the process, people were guided by legal aid and attorneys doing pro bono work to highlight the problems and find a way to fix them.
Do you want to figure that out with the calculator?
There's a special feeling of satisfaction when you are assisting somebody with basic legal services.
For many, it was a one-stop shop that simply needed some clarity, some forms, and even some insurance.
In about 5 minutes, she had it figured out, and I don't even owe that much. I just have a real small fine to pay and then a couple places to call.
To get my license back and get everything back on track, it's a huge burden lifted.
And it's another incentive to the lawyers who dedicate their time and careers to helping Ohioans in need.
It's so encouraging to see so many people coming together to work for a common goal.
We have an obligation as attorneys to give back or give forward, and this is a wonderful way to do it.
You can see them throughout the Thomas J. Moyer Ohio Judicial Center.
The Supreme Court moved across the street.
Sharing the state's history.
This landmass was called the Northwest Territory.
And the history of its courts.
Basically, the courts ended up ruling against the news station.
They are the Ohio Supreme Court's volunteer tour guides.
Where does the idea of a warrant come from?
I love architecture and I'm a lawyer, so I could combine those two things together in a wonderful building.
Even though most have been doing it for years, each tour tends to be a unique experience.
There's always something new and different.
Just the ceiling in the courtroom with the school students who come here is amazing to watch the expressions on their faces when they see the various paintings.
As a show of appreciation for their help and guidance, Chief Justice Maureen O'Connor and the other 6 justices applauded their effort at the annual Volunteer Guide Luncheon.
Each and every year, I think our numbers grow, and I think that's because of the positive feedback that we get from educators and folks that come in here, and they spread the word about what a great experience it is.
That word of mouth goes a long way to achieve one of the court's primary purposes: education.
You help the Supreme Court to fulfill a very important mission to increase the public's knowledge of the role and the responsibilities of the judicial branch of government. You do it. You help us do it so well.
The kids, the tours, the artwork, just everything about being a volunteer here is very, very near and dear to my heart.
To learn more about tours of the Moyer Judicial Center or the Volunteer Tour Guide program, please contact the Civic Education Office at 614-387-9223 or courttours@scohio.gov. And that's a look at Court News Ohio's top stories. Visit courtnewsohio.gov for the latest headlines on Ohio's courts. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter.